Hey cuties, welcome back. It's your host Zanaya, and on today's episode, we will be discussing dating, relationships, marriage, all that good stuff. I did bring wine because this is gonna be a topic. I've mentioned this to you guys already, but I am single. I don't have any kids, and which I'm happy, by the way. I'm extremely happy from all the things that I've been through. But I would say majority of my life I have been in horrific relationships, like just trying to chase love, trying to find the right person. And I've mentioned this before, but that love that I was searching for, that I was chasing, I found it in Christ. In the past, because I didn't have that love that I was looking for, that I was seeking, I was, making wrong decisions along the way. And this wine is good, y'all. I'm a little lit already, but honestly, in my past relationships, even up until low key now, like a few months ago, um, every relationship that I was in, I gave my complete all. And when I say give my complete all, meaning like I went all out. Like when I loved you for real. And honestly, even more than myself, in those relationships. So, as a result, I, poured myself out into these relationships and I never received that love back. Also, as a result of that, I stayed in relationships that I know I shouldn't have been in, if that makes sense. Like I tolerated a lot of things, and yes, I wasn't no angel. I had some trauma. I wasn't healed. So, again, I wasn't perfect and I was no angel, but I put up with a lot of things that I shouldn't have. And again, that stemmed from me not fully loving myself and not having Christ in my life because I wasn't loved properly. I wasn't loved unconditionally. So, again, I was just chasing love, chasing people, trying to find the right person. And again, I was never satisfied because no one is ever going to love me more than God. Like, love me the way that God loves me. And, now that I have that all set in stone, like now that I have been loved properly, I know what to look for in a relationship. I know what not to tolerate, what not to accept, run the opposite way as soon as I see red flags, just little things like that. I, God has just taught me so much. And most importantly, He taught me to love myself and to teach me that I am worthy and that I don't have to settle. So, of course I didn't know these things. I wasn't moving in that way because, again, I didn't know. I wasn't loved properly, but what I can say is, a lot of my relationships, they have taught me a lot. And if I didn't experience those relationships, I wouldn't be the woman I am today. I wouldn't think the way I think. I wouldn't, you understand? They have taught me a lot. So, I don't regret anything. I don't regret any relationship. But now I know, um, that I'm worthy and I never need to settle. And the only man that I want is from the Lord Himself. I don't want anyone else outside of that. I recently got baptized, maybe almost 2 months ago. And obviously, before that baptism, just everything leading up to the baptism, I was fornicating. Like, even in the beginning of my journey, I had I had an issue with lust. And, not only was I fornicating, but I was also, I'm trying to think of the word that I used on TikTok, because I know I can't say this on here, but I struggled with master imagination. And obviously that contributed to me watching corn. And I did both of those things a lot before I, gave my life to Christ. I was heavily involved in those things. And, of course, before I didn't think it was a problem. I thought, I'm grown. These are what um grown people do. These are what adults do. And now that God has taught me the root behind that, if that makes sense, like He revealed to me what was happening when I participated in those things. Thank you, Holy Spirit. And Holy Spirit is carrying me because I'm a little off this. But I clearly had demons in my life when I was participating in those things, because only Satan, only demons, motivate you to do those things. And when you're stuck in that, they, once you open that door, they come in and they try to stay. So, again, for so many years, I participated in those things. And when I came to Christ and He revealed what was going on behind the scenes when I was doing those things, I had to cut it. I had to literally cut it out. And the corn wasn't hard to cut off because, again, I was only watching it for the master imagination, right? So, once I stopped, I'm gonna just say the master. Once I stopped mastering, again, it wasn't easy in the beginning. Like, God is so patient. He doesn't, not once did He ever make me feel ashamed. But it's like when I gave my life to Him, I wanted Him to show me things that He couldn't stand. I wanted to hate what He hated. And, you know, just living in this world, it, everything is just so over sexualized. Like, everything is just, oh, it's normal to hook up, it's normal to master, is not like, all these things is whatever, do what you want, live your life. But it's like, it's not worth going to hell over. And, you know, remember when I told you guys that people are being operated by demons? And that includes the people who do corn, right? And it's no judgment towards them, it's no judgment towards people that are currently still involved in those things, right? But when demons are a part of your life, they want you to stay stuck in sin. They want you to think that what you're doing is okay. So I am just so grateful that the Lord delivered me from those things, because once I was delivered, I never looked back. Now, again, I still was fornicating. That's something that, I still continue to struggle with. I'm not perfect. I would never try to be perfect. I would never try to sit here and say or make you think that I'm perfect, because I never will be. And people have to understand that when you give your life to Christ, that does not automatically mean every sin, you're never going to sin again. And it's just not accurate. We sin every single day. I hear sometimes how people, you know, um, whether they were delivered from it or not, but that they have um, a corn addiction. And I think my confusion when it comes to that is because, again, we're grown, right? So we watch that to achieve a goal, right? So once you stop mastering, because I'm just speaking from personal experience. Like once I stopped mastering, I'm like, I don't need to watch this anymore. Like I don't, like I don't need to put myself in that situation. And again, everyone is different, right? But just knowing spiritually what's happening when I watch it, when I open those doors, like it scared me. It low key scared me. And I guess my advice would be, to, well, obviously we need God for everything, right? We need His strength. We can't just stop doing things on our own. We need His strength. So if you start to take steps towards stop mastering, then that will contribute to you watching less corn. Does that make sense? So again, I'm just speaking from personal experience. But that's what helped me. And again, I couldn't stop mastering on my own. I needed the Lord. I'm like, because I remember, even after he was telling me about it, um, I tried to do it again. And at the time I had a rose, right? I had to throw her out. But, you know, I went to go do it, and the conviction, I could feel the conviction. Like, like I just felt like, damn, I'm really doing something wrong. And it just didn't feel right. And I'm just like, Lord, like, I need your help. I need your help to stop. And, one day I'm just like, yeah, I'm done. I threw it out. I erased my private tab. And it's crazy because I always had a tab for that. But one day it just like disappeared. And I know it was God, because again, it was always there. So like, I don't know, I never just sat there and watched it for fun. Again, it was always to reach a goal. So again, that's just my advice. If just stopping it altogether is to start by taking the steps to stop mastering. And it's crazy because even after, like, the Lord delivered me from those things, I got the craziest dreams. Like, you can tell Satan was mad. Like, I got the craziest, most disgusting dreams. And we'll talk about dreams in another episode. But when you have dreams about doing things being done to you, you doing things, anything in that nature, it's demonic. So oh my goodness, I had the most craziest dreams after. And, that was just confirmation that what I was doing was a great thing. And, he was mad. He was mad. He is always mad when God delivers us from things because he knows the consequences that comes from us participating in those things. And yeah, so again, I'm so happy the Lord delivered me. I haven't looked back since. I'm so glad. But back to my baptism, like again, I was fornicating before my baptism, right? But I don't know, y'all, like ever since I got baptized, once I came up from that water, I'm like, I'm not fornicating again. Like, I don't care. I'm not putting myself in that situation. I don't want a man breathing on me weird. I don't want an ex. I don't want, I'm, I'm just like, this is just a sin that I no longer want to participate in. And I am just standing on business. Like I had a lot of like I had my fair share of, participating in that for a long time. And again, I don't know, after I got baptized, I'm like, yeah, I'm not playing no games. Like I am not having sex until I say I do. For sure. So that's just a promise that I made to myself, that I made to God. And, I really don't like making promises to God because, we're human, we're not perfect, we make mistakes. But, sexual immorality, period, is just something that I I have no interest in participating in. And like I don't even crave it. Y'all don't understand. Like again, I used to battle with lust, so I'm like, I can't go that long without, but like now I have literally no interest. And sex was created from God, y'all. Like sex is not a nasty thing, He created it, but He created it in marriage. So I only desire to have sex in marriage. I do. And again, I had plenty of time fooling around, but now it's just like I have no interest and I can do it. I most certainly can do it. It's possible. So, yeah, I have no desire. I I feel like that lock will unlock like, those desires, and literally me unlocking it um will all come out in marriage because it's like I can breathe. This is right now. I can participate in this. This is the right, like this is because I'm participating it in the right way. In God's eyes, it is in the perfect way. Does that make sense? So that's just what's it's just gonna be way more special knowing that I waited, knowing that we both waited, and that we both fear God enough to wait. So so um so yeah, again, I have no desire until I say I do. Let me put this wine down. Look at my eyes. I know they probably look so low. It's literally, y'all, like 1 in the morning right now. So this is a little late night podcast vibe. I also wanted to talk about unequally yoked relationships. Now, again, I'm pretty new to giving my life to Christ, right? But what I did learn the hard way is I cannot change anyone. I cannot force anyone to a man to give their life to Christ. And being in an unequally yoked relationship will always backfire because, again, you can't change anyone. Only God Himself can do that. And again, as I stated before, God is not, He's going to show Himself, but He's not going to force Himself into your life. Like, you have to take those steps. You have to invite Him in. I made that mistake in my last relationship, praying to God that He will change this person. And, but it's like, we cannot change anyone. We cannot dismiss red flags. We cannot go off potential. Oh, they're good with this, but maybe if I just stick around a little longer, they can change this. Or no, no. Like, when God tells you to leave someone alone, when it's time to exit someone's life, do it. Because it's just not going to be pretty. And, God allows us, God allows our hearts to be broken sometimes because, you know, sometimes that's what wakes us up. You understand? So, I definitely learned that in my last relationship that you could pray for someone all you want that God would change them, but you cannot stick around and just hope and just deal with whatever comes with them because you want them to change. And it's like you just have to learn how to let go. When it's time to let go, you have to let go. And I can't stress this enough, but when you seek God first, when you let Him love you first, relationships are going to be, it's going to be an add-on, just like with bread, right? We talked about bread in the last episode. Like, that's the same with relationships. Like, that should be an add-on. You should not be begging God for, you know, a relationship, a marriage. Like, He should be your first love. You understand? Because when you receive His love, oh my goodness, you are so fulfilled that you like, I'm not dealing with no BS from no man. Like, I'm not, you understand? Like, I have been loved properly already. So you're an add-on. So if you're not meeting me up here, if you're not bringing what needs to be brung to the table, I'm not dealing with you. I don't need to deal with you. I don't need to settle. So, again, Jesus should be your first love. He will show you how you are supposed to be loved. And then after that, not only does He heal you, but He also prepares you. Like, I am currently in my preparation season where God is preparing me for marriage. And even though I thought I was ready for marriage in the past, like, oh yeah, I'm that girl. Like, I can do this. I love this way, blah, 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 blah. And even though those things were true, like, I wasn't ready for a relationship. Like, I wasn't healed. I wasn't prepared. Like, God is all knowing. Like, He knows how to prepare us. Like, even as small as me being submissive, y'all, like, I was never submissive. Like, I used to be one of them girls, like, whatever I say go. Like, you're not about to talk to me in any kind of way. I mean, I'm still like that a little bit. But but I just was not submissive. I wasn't gentle. I wasn't, you understand? Like, God really softened my heart, like, and I'm just talking about in the relationship aspect. Like, I see why he had to prepare me, because if I would have brought that old version of myself, and again, that contributed to my failed relationships, right? But if I brought those qualities into a relationship that is sent from the Lord, I would have fumbled it. I literally would have fumbled it because I wasn't ready to be a wife. Does that make sense? So, you know, as much as us girls, us females, we want to be married, we want to have a family, we want to have kids, all these great things, right? But as much as we think that we are ready for marriage, we're not. And we have to let God prepare us so that the marriage can be successful. The marriage isn't going to be easy, it isn't going to be perfect, but at least you'll be prepared for each other. That's why you have to wait on God's timing. Of course, as a woman, I do desire marriage. I know I'm going to get married one day, but I am so satisfied with just me and God. Like, I love him. Like, I don't I don't need to be married. You understand? Like, again, me being married is an add-on, but I'm not like, oh Lord, please send me my husband. I can't live. I just need my husband. No, I would never ever pray that to him. I don't care how long it takes for him to send me my husband. Like, I would never pray that to him, because there is a such thing as idolizing your partner, idolizing your husband. God should always come first. God should be in the center of that marriage. And to be real, if your husband is not a godly man, if he don't follow Christ, he can't love you the right way. That's just facts. He cannot love you the right way. He can only love you the right way when he is seeking God. You know why? Because God knows how to guide a man to love you. He knows each of us, right? Like, he knows what I desire, what my husband desires, right? Like, he knows everything. So when you're patient and you just let him bring everything together in his divine timing, it'll be perfect. You cannot rush him, you cannot beg him, because that isn't going to make him move faster. So, just keep that in mind when you are praying to God about these things. But again, he cares about your desires, like, but you should love him first. He should be a priority in your life. So, and also, we need to stop putting an age gap on our life. Like, yeah, we need to be married with kids and whatever by 25, or it's just not realistic. You should not put that restraint on your life. You understand? Like, everyone's life is different, everyone's journey is different, and we are not running out of time. Like, I am almost 30. Like, I'm not like, oh, I gotta get a husband. Like, God, can you send me a husband? Like, I'm running out of time. What am I gonna do? Like, no. It's no, we should not. There is no competition, there is no rush. You understand? Like, we have to stop doing that. But yeah, honey, just relax. Like, you are not running out of time. Everything will happen in God's perfect time. But again, you have to seek Him first. You don't need to chase anyone either. You don't need to go out on dating apps and all these different, like, you don't have to chase anybody. God will bring your partner to you. Like, especially women, like, we don't have to do the chasing. We do not have to chase. We don't. I was doing that for a very long time, chasing people, chasing love, chasing relationships, and I didn't have to. I don't have to. We don't have to do that. And once you stop doing that, everything will just flow to you. Literally, like everything will flow into your life effortlessly. So, that's the same thing with chasing bread. Like when you chase bread, when you chase people, it's going to be hard for those things to naturally come into your life. Does that make sense? I don't know when I'm going to meet my husband. I can meet him tomorrow. I don't know. But when I do get approached by men, I I let them down very easily now. Like in the past I used to be like, oh, I got a boyfriend, can you just like get out my face kind of thing. But now even if I know off rip that I'm not interested, I'm still just like, I'm sorry, but I'm not dating right now. But I do appreciate your effort. I do, I feel honored that you're interested. Just something along those lines because I don't know, like I don't want to make people feel like they're not worthy or like they're less than. You understand? Because I'm not interested. So it's like, I just let them down very easily. And I don't know, my discernment be on point to where it's like, even the way you walk, I know it's not going to work. The words that you speak to me, I know it's not going to work, even off of first introduction. So it's like, again, I just slowly like, oh, I appreciate it, but I'm not dating. Just you don't have to kill a man's ego. Now, if he is doing too much, if those men that are like, they don't like rejection, they don't like hearing no, then it's like, okay, now I got to bring out this side where I told you to, get out my face. But it's like 9 times out of 10, I let them down easy. So, but yeah, again, I am just continuing to let God prepare me. And I just don't want to do it by myself anymore. I don't have to chase and go looking. God will bring him right to me. Honestly, that's just a weight off my shoulders because it's like, it's just such a big world. And, we have all these expectations and everything. And my number one expectation is you have to be a follower of Christ. You have to be actively seeking God, not in a fake way over I'm talking about a real way and I can tell for real. So it's like I don't know, like I just know like when I meet my husband, I'm just gonna know. Like we are just it's just gonna click. Like we're just gonna know. So it's like, I am excited for that. And I am just looking forward to being in a relationship that is Christ centered. That's just going to be the best relationship, an equally yoked relationship. So but yeah, and I was gonna say like another thing, like God knows your desires, He knows your type. He knows all of these things. So it's like, I'm not saying He's gonna send a perfect, no, nobody's perfect, right? But it's like He takes those desires into consideration. And I'm just not worried about His pick for me. You understand? Like I trust Him so much where I'm like, God, I'm gonna let you send, I'm gonna let you send whoever is for me to me. Like, I'm not about to go looking because clearly my choices have been a disaster. So, so yeah, like not only do I trust God with my love life, with my marriage, you know, but I trust him in all of these other areas of my life, my career, my finances, all these other things. So, um, I'm not worried. I'm good. I, I have God, so I am fulfilled. So when he sends my husband, that's an add on. We are going to be a representation of his kingdom. And, I'm not rushing him. I know that everything will happen in his perfect divine timing. I'm not begging him. I am good. I'm not running out of time. I don't care what the world thinks, oh, you should be by this age. I just seen this. I'm currently watching Girlfriends, and I watched the episode where um a doctor was telling Joan, like, yeah, if you don't start making arrangements for having a baby um within 3 years, by 35, that just all of these complications and all of these things. And I was just like, God literally in the Bible, he got an old lady pregnant. What was her name? Sarah? I think she was almost 100 years old. Like, my point is, age is nothing but a number. Like, none of that matters with God. So it's like, even though I'm almost 30, like, I'm in no rush. Like, yeah, I gotta have kids by this age. I gotta be married by this age. No. Everything is going to flow effortlessly. I'm going to be blessed with children when the right timing comes. Like, I'm not putting no rush and none of that on my life. I'm not doing that anymore. I've been doing that my entire life, trying to plan out everything. And like, I have just completely surrendered to the Lord. He has complete control over my life, and I've never been happier. Like, I can breathe. I can literally breathe. But yeah, I think I basically touched on everything I wanted to touch on. Um, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope it kind of gave you some clarity. And, just remember that Christ loves you. I love you, but he loves you more. And I will see you guys on the next episode.